whatever reasons that may be at that. So,
In fact, just to add to whatever the panel has said. See, it's a more of a transactional and transformational philosophy which we're talking about. Uh, but on the other side, contrary to that, the involvement or that focus has to also come from top down again, because today as a HR, I want to contribute to business. I am engaged, but is my business allowing me to get engaged? That is also a question. Okay, and I am the only one who is getting engaged. Other 10 folks in the other divisions getting engaged, understanding or not, that's important. And why not only HR? Why only HR? Even look at the finance guys, the questions which they ask when you go for a business case or a budget sanction debate, you find the same thing happening. And the question automatically comes that, boss, why don't you come and sit on my table and see the business? So I think it's not about HR, it is also about finance and other functions in the organization. And this prioritization should happen from the top level. It can't be that you want to contribute, but is there a provision in the system to do it or not? That makes the difference.
One, my friend said only 5-10% people will run business. Pareto principle does not apply here. Because in HR man you believe in a company of 6,000 people, 5% people run business, you're absolutely wrong. Then your total approach towards people will be lopsided. Number two, 17 to 25% is the output of an ordinary human individual, be he Gora or Indian or whatever. Therefore, he has the potential to deliver another 75%. Why doesn't he do that? Because of an environment which is not facilitating. With whatever little experience I have, I am a अंग्रेजों के ज़माने का HR मैनेजर. हिंदुस्तान में जो हैंड होल्डिंग करनी होती है वो हम लोग जीरो करते हैं. I'm very happy that in the beginning remarks were made that I was also wondering what is going to be new about HR. People are the same यार. उनको प्यार चाहिए, उनको मोटिवेशन चाहिए. आपने मोटिवेशन का शब्द इस्तेमाल किया. I am also a serious student of motivation. मोटिवेशन के नए नए तरीके निकलते जाएंगे, बट डीमोटिवेशन इज ए सेटल्ड अफेयर. उसको आप मिसट्रीट करिए दुखी, उसके ईगो को हिट करिए दुखी. We know all that, yet we practice.
Sorry to interrupt, sir.
हाँ जी?
We are falling short of
No,
time.
doesn't matter.
Sir,
This session, I want to contribute. I am a free participant. I want to contribute. Am I talking nonsense? I have also got 40 years of experience. Combined, ये जितने पांच बैठे काबिल लोग हैं, मैं कोई गलत बता रहा हूँ क्या? अगर मैंने कुछ कहा तो इसमें क्या बुराई है? They talked for so much time. Some of it could have been, more productive. कई टॉपिक्स पे 10-10 मिनटें बात की जो 2 मिनट में खत्म हो जानी चाहिए थी. See, please understand, I am a former president of Delhi Management Association and an old professional. Unless we take full advantage of people who also have experience, and I also want to learn from their experiences. We only talk about IT companies. Nobody talked about brick and mortar company. 80% of jobs are routine jobs. What innovation are we talking about? वो जो 6,000 वर्कर मेरे हीरो होंडा में बैठे हैं, उनके लिए आप क्या करेंगे? तो एनीवे, प्लीज ये हमेशा याद रखिएगा, मैं आता रहूँगा जब तक मैं जिंदा हूँ, जब तक मैनेजमेंट कॉन्फ्रेंसेस में डिस्कशन वगैरह का इक्वल समय नहीं होगा, कोई फायदा नहीं है एक साइड की बातें सुनना. मेरी कंपनी में ये हुआ, मेरी कंपनी में वो हुआ.
thank you for respecting the time, sir. Up to you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a round of applause for the Delhi dignitaries here? Thank you, sir.
Now I request Dr. Maninder Kaur, Dean, Guru Tegh Bahadur Institute, to present the memento to Mr. Gaurav Markanda. Next.
I would like to request Ms. Anubha Agarwal, EIL, to present memento to Mr. Avdesh Dikshit.
Now I request Professor S.K. Singh IBA to present a memento to Mr. Hemant Taneja.
I would like to request Mr. Girish Bhatt from Parle Biscuits to present a memento to Mr. Vikramjit Singh.
Now I request Mr. Rajesh Wij, HR NXZ, to present the memento to Mr. Mayuk Das Gupta. Yes. Sounds good.
Now to start the long-awaited case study presentations, I would like to call our first presenter, EIL team led by Ms. Anubha Agarwal.
I know it's the end of the day, end of the seminar, and I won't take long. It's been a tiring and a long day for all of you. I am Anubha T. Agarwal, Senior Manager HRD Engineers India Limited, and I have with me my colleagues Isha Riki and Mr. Asit Nayak, both of them working with core HR functions in Engineers India. We've taken up a very, very daunting case study to present in front of you, and that is formulation of the HR strategy. And all throughout the day, we've been hearing about pitching HR as a strategic business partner. So this is one of our initiatives at EIL to position HR as a strategic business partner by formulating an HR strategy. Now, what we will be detailing in the presentation is not the HR strategy, but how we evolve the strategy. So I'll skip through the semantics and get straight to the point. What has been unique in this formulation or in this process is some things that our esteemed panelists have been talking about, and that is sitting with the business managers, understanding business, understanding the nuances of the business, and asking the managers, what is it that you need from HR? So rather than being told and being asked to comply with the business requirements, we went out, stuck our necks out, and asked them, what is it that you want us to do? Why did we do that? We did that because the business of EIL was changing. One of the important ingredients that we looked at while evolving the strategy was to look at the three perspectives of business, of the HR strategy formulation. One being the business perspective. And where did we get that perspective? From various oil and gas studies that had been done in the industry by Deloitte. There was a study by E&Y. Then there was a study by Booz & Company, which told us what is it that the industry demands today. Now, oil and gas, if you know, is a very, very dynamic and volatile industry. There is fading attractiveness, there is aging workforce, and it has its own set of unique challenges. The other perspective we got from the organizational studies that were conducted by Engineers India, by partnering with McKinsey, who did a growth study for us. Then from the EIL's business strategy, which was involved with the help of Booz & Company. and the strategy workshops that were conducted. So a lot of findings, a lot of recommendations from those workshops and from those studies were ingredients of our HR policy, strategy. The people's perspective, and this was the key ingredient, which we captured through the employee engagement surveys that were done. There were various brainstorming sessions that were held across the length and breadth of the organization to feel the pulse of the people and what is it that our people are actually looking for. So we've talked about segmentation and extreme segmentation, that is, Mr. Dixit told that even the millennials need to be segmented. Now that is not the kind of segmentation that we looked for, but definitely there is a multi-generational workforce that is there in EIL today. And we looked at what are the unique expectations of those workforce and how can the HR strategy be aligned to that. So these were certain ingredients that are part of the HR strategy which we tried to capture. This is a brief outlook as to what the business strategy of EIL would be, and it looks at different geographies, it looks at different industries, and maybe a different business model to be operating on. So for each of these strategic initiatives, what is it that HR will need to do? So if it's a different geography that we are looking at, how does HR play? What is the HR role there? Maybe to understand the market, the labor laws that are operating in that market, what is the manpower profile, what should be the manpower composition. There are laws in certain regions where you have to employ a certain set of percentage of people from that same country. So these are the nuances that we've tried to build into the HR strategy. So this is the roadmap that we followed while evolving the strategy, and the focus has been to get an increased extensive collaboration and consensus building across the organization and getting multiple perspectives from our own people and from the business per se. So we've been fighting for getting a place at the head of the table while designing the strategy of the organization. But what we have actually done through this process of formulating the strategy is try to earn the place that HR has always been asking for. And that is how we think that this is a unique and innovative idea, an innovative approach that Engineers India Limited has taken by evolving an HR strategy. In the end, what I would like to sum up with is, without strategy, execution is aimless. Without execution, strategy is useless. Thank you so much.
Our next presentators are Wipro team led by Mr. Praveen Kamath.
This is that's the point in case with me whenever I went to any presentations. So quickly, I may not even take not more than 5 minutes. First of all, I would like to thank the brainchild of Training Academy. They're all sitting there capturing on the phones. Jasmine Malhotra, Gunjan Ramchandani, Tarun Ahuja, they're all sitting there. I'm just taking the credit. Let me tell you, let me be honest. I hit the L&D for Wipro BPS. This effort started sometime year before last year. And one of the fantastic discussions all the time when we went to the table with the CEOs and the business heads have been, what is that you can do to earn respect from our client when it comes to domain centricity, when it comes to specialized knowledge, when it comes to certification, when it comes to education for people whom you've been giving work. And half of the time we had no answer. There are larger competitions who always said 56% of our people have been certified in X technology. 17% of our people have been certified in, say, finance and accounting. So we used to get perplexed by our competition sitting next to the table with the client, saying that they have a population of people who comes with extreme amount of, good amount of domain centricity. with that in mind, we wanted to bridge that gap when we go back to the customers or the end client. We call this as Training Academy. I have only 4 slides, so bear with me. I know you had a long day. So the question is, do we do something which can enhance the productivity for people on the floor, the factories, or the place where we connect to the customer? The other question was, do you have a system which can talk about people doing it well, ultimately resulting in enhancement of our P&L? Or can we talk about a set of people who bring in significant amount of subject matter expertise, thereby enhancing our ability to have core to our business and core business? Both. From core to the businesses, why do I exist as Wipro or Wipro BPS, or why do I exist as a client partner? And the last one is, how do you make it happen for a large workforce? Just to give you a perspective, we manage around 34,000 people, 24/7 in 20 locations, more than 17 geographic locations. So it's a Herculean task. The answer was, we need to inbuilt in the KRAs of L&D department. So what was the solution? We made it in 4 different formats or levels. The first one is intensive domain certification programs, which is for every LOB, line of business, we have a program to be run. For example, we run large airline business. So can we identify a set of people who've got certified in IATA? If you're running an insurance business, can you go and thump on the table with the insurance client? I have X percentage of people who are LOMA certified, which is Life Office Management Association. When we work with finance and accounting people, do you have people who are certified in, say, ACCA, which is a CA equivalent in the UK market? So we identified courses, worked with the business leaders, and we came out with a list of courses. And we said it has to be nomination based. Let me tell you, when I'm talking about it's nomination based, that means organization has to invest. Unlike the other program which we also cover, which is called SEED, which is more of an education program. So we had a conversation with my HR head and the CEO. We said it costs us around $200,000. The first question was, what is the ROI? The answer was, I made up. The answer was, you better give us an opportunity. We get a table or a seat next to the client explaining that how can it improve his or her business. The second one which we did was shaping up our education program. Now we call it as you pay, you pass, I reimburse. Otherwise I'll become an NIIT. I'll become a training institute. We said we will identify people from the floor who can come, take up courses which is relevant to their line of business and certify themselves. These are undergraduate courses, postgraduate courses, or professional courses. But we'll reimburse only after X months of completion, so that I buy in the course time with me. If the infant attrition or attrition of that group is very high, I retain them. Not only that, they're also with me with X number of months even after completion. So that's the second. The third one was, how do I enhance knowledge of people at manager, senior manager, or an AVP level? For us, you have to identify programs which talks about, say, for example, how do I robotize my existing processes? How do I do revenue recognition when I do business? So we conduct webinars, which is called masterclass, which enable entire globe to log in at a particular time, and it runs for 1 hour or 1.5 hours, depending on the nature of the topic which we discuss. Now, this is a good knowledge sharing session, basically at people at middle level or just about to get into senior level. The fourth one is at the rock bottom level, which is inside D. You know, we have these young millennials who's joining us. Comes we do. Rest of the 2 slides is an outcome slide. What happened? Without this, you won't believe what I've done, right? I need to quantify. So the journey started in Domain Academy. Today we have 183 enrollment, and let me tell you, only 10% of the top performers will get into this program. You look at master class, every month we conduct this session, and we gauge the session with a rating scale of on 0 to 5, and we have been consistently rated between 4.2 to 4.5. So people do a good job. The third one, we have conducted